Welcome to the Naturally Recovered Meditation Podcast. Find your groove naturally with your host, Ashley Pappas.
Hello and welcome to Naturally Recovered. I'm your host, Ashley Pappas. There's an old saying that if you sober up a horse thief, what you're left with is a sober horse thief. Meaning that when we enter recovery, we cease using whatever it is that we're addicted to. However, we still come in with all of the shortcomings and defects that we had before, and they don't magically go away. In early recovery, I thought that once I became aware of these defects, that it was up to me to get rid of them. But after a while, the words of those around me who had told me that it's not really something that I can personally do started to sink in, because even though there were some defects that I would try not to engage in, it would be like a pendulum swinging from one extreme to the other. And I found that a more effective way was to take the actions to not engage in them, but also surrender them to my higher power. And when I did that, the magical things started to happen, and I started to transform and have a spiritual awakening. In and of myself, I'm a very defective person. There are a lot of things that I'm hardwired to do that are counterproductive with who I want to become in my spiritual journey. And it's too much for any one human to handle. And so this meditation is going to allow you to seek out the guidance of your higher power, the universe, whatever you choose to call it, to assist you in letting go of those defects and embracing who you're truly meant to be. Before we begin, make sure to settle in. Find a place where you can be quiet, comfortable, and free from distraction for the duration of your meditation. Close your eyes and take a deep breath in through your nose, bringing the breath all the way down to the very bottom of your belly, and then gently releasing the breath through your mouth, allowing the natural rhythm of your breathing to take you deeper and deeper into relaxation. Observing any sensations in your body, any thoughts crossing your mind, allowing them to pass and be released with each breath that you take. As you continue to inhale and exhale, allow yourself to fully surrender to your higher power. If you start to feel any kind of resistance within your body, acknowledge that location and breathe into that area, releasing the resistance with your breath. In your mind's eye, visualize yourself in a room, standing in the center. Looking down at the ground, you notice that the ground has holes all throughout. And in these holes, there are little puppets that randomly pop up. And each one of these puppets represent a shortcoming or a defect that you possess. Imagining a hammer that you're holding with your dominant hand, and you begin to swing at each puppet, trying to get rid of it. And as you hit one, it goes down, back into the hole. Yet you notice that even more puppets pop up as the one goes down. Continuing to try to get these puppets to all go back in their hole with your hammer. You become aware of how futile these efforts really are, how futile it is when you alone try to conquer each and every one of your shortcomings. Surrendering your shortcomings and your defects to your higher power. As you stand in this room with the puppets popping up, you make the decision to consciously surrender each and every one of these puppets to your higher power. And as soon as you make this decision and surrender the puppets, one by one they begin to vanish. You might find that there are a couple puppets that represent defects that you might not be completely ready to let go of. You might be unconsciously clinging to them, holding them in place. And if you find that you have this resistance, if you find that there are shortcomings that you are not yet willing to surrender, taking in a deep breath, open yourself to the willingness to become willing to surrender it. Allow yourself to feel the freedom in the simple request for help. And as these puppets vanish, you're given the freedom and the space to seal the holes with the tools that have been bestowed upon you by your higher power. Surrendering a little bit more with each breath that you take. Having faith that as these defects, as these shortcomings are removed, that something miraculous will come in its place. Allowing yourself to feel the peace and relief that come from realizing that you don't have to manage these defects and shortcomings alone. Take a deep breath and gently wiggle your fingers and your toes, bringing awareness back into your body. And when you're ready, open your eyes. I love performing this meditation whenever I start to feel like I'm living in a game of whack-a-mole with my defects. Because to be honest, there are some defects that have not been removed from me that drive me crazy. And I know that there's a reason that I have yet to understand, or maybe I will never understand it. So I hope that this meditation has been helpful for you as well. I'm so grateful to be a part of your spiritual journey. Have a wonderful day. Namaste.